Okay, here we go.
All right, so welcome everyone. We are so excited to have you guys here for our first lesson of Grow, Prepare, Eat, which is a virtual food literacy program that's being put on by Rutgers. We're so thrilled that you guys are here. So for today, we're going to spend maybe like 10 or 15 minutes. We're going to do some introductions so that you get to know who Miss Harrison and I are, and we get to know a little bit about you guys. We're going to spend plenty of time getting to know each other all throughout the 6 weeks, though, okay? And then we're going to just talk about the technologies that we're going to use for this class since it is an online class. The two we're going to use are WebEx, and the other one's called Class Dojo. And some of you guys probably know those. It might be new to other people. And then we're going to talk about these survey things that your parent or guardian probably got. And then we're going to actually jump into the lesson, and we're going to learn about a couple of really fun fruits that grow in the summer here in New Jersey. And then we're going to talk about how seeds and plants grow. Etiquette before? Anyone know? Oh, I saw a couple hands go up. Can someone who raised a hand, can you either unmute yourself and share or chat into the chat? What is etiquette? What do you think that means? I think I see some people type in, wait a second, see what people have to say. Rules, yeah, rules is one of them. Yeah, what else do you guys think etiquette is? You guys thought means manners. Yes, beautiful. You guys got it. So rules, manners, it's basically how we be polite to people and how we be, it can be kind of fancy. Yeah, very good. It's how we be polite and how we're respectful to the people that we're around, okay? So some of these rules would be the same as if we were in a school building, if we were in a class all together in the same space. And some of these etiquette rules are kind of special to a virtual class, okay? So the first one is, to be on time, okay? And you guys were all super on time today, which is awesome. When we're all on time, then class flows really fast and we get through all the fun stuff we want to talk about. The next one is when you guys first enter, try to keep your microphones on mute, okay? So it's not too loud for people when they're coming in. There'll be lots of times when we ask you guys if you want to unmute and share, or you'll be able to chat in. But if you don't have something that you're wanting to say, just keep yourself on mute so if people are walking around in your house behind you or whatever, we don't hear stuff, okay? Next is be respectful to the teacher and to your classmates. So can someone raise a hand and share or type into the chat, what are some ways that we like to be respectful to the people that we're around? Being polite, that's such a big one, being polite. What are some other ways we can be respectful? Eye contact. Oh, I love that. That's such an important one, eye contact. And that can be kind of hard in WebEx, but we do the very best we can. Don't interrupt. Such a great one. We want people to feel like what they say is important and they don't want to be interrupted. Raising hands when you want to talk. Yeah. So in WebEx, you can physically raise your hand like this. And since we have our cameras on, we'll be able to see you. But you can also, there is actually the ability to raise your hand in the chat function. You click on your name, you're able to raise your hand, and Miss Harrison and I will see that and we can call on you, okay? Exactly. Those are all such great ways to be respectful. So, oh, and being quiet, right? Well, there's a time to chat and there's a time to be quiet. So knowing when is a good time to be listening. Awesome, guys. So another one is to try and stay focused, right? So it's tough and when you're at home and on the computer, there's lots of distractions going on, but staying focused as best as we can will make it so that our lessons are really fun because people are chatting and they're sharing and we're answering questions back and forth. It'll be more fun that way. And then we already talked about raising a hand when you want to chat. That was one of those respectful rules. And then I think that's our last one, okay? So, oh, and last one. This is kind of important. I don't think think you guys are already being so great. I don't think this is even gonna be a problem. But you wanna make sure if you ever say something in the chat that it's appropriate, which means that it's nice, it doesn't make anyone feel bad, it doesn't hurt anyone's feelings. We wanna just say things that are appropriate when we put messages into the chat, okay? So if those rules all sound okay to people, can I see thumbs up? Is that okay with everyone? Sound pretty good? Pretty easy to remember? Okay, cool. So the next thing we're going to talk about is Class Dojo. Has anyone here ever used Class Dojo for their classes at school? Let me see. I see a couple hands. Let me see. Keep your hands up high if you've ever used Class Dojo. 1, 2, 3. I think I see some people. Okay. So Class Dojo sounds like it'll be familiar for some people and for other people, and that's okay. Class Dojo is what we're going to use to be able to post announcements to you guys so you know about everything that's going on in our class. And also, after every single lesson, when we meet like this live, afterwards, there's going to be an activity that you guys can do at home with your parents or with a sibling or with a friend if you're, if you're able to have people over, any whatever like that, right? And you can do these activities, and it'll be a fun way to kind of learn what we're talking about in class with a really good hands-on project, okay? And we're going to post a video or an instruction set for those activities to Class Dojo every day, or every day when we have a lesson, so like on Mondays and Thursdays. So you want to make sure that you log on to Class Dojo after each lesson to be able to get those instructions. Now, for logging on to Class Dojo, all of your parents or guardians or whoever signed you up for class got a link to be able to log into Class Dojo. So they should have those instructions. But if you ever have an issue with that, you can send a chat in during one of our lessons, or you can email Miss Mara, or you can message on Class Dojo if you ever have a technology issue, and we'll be able to try and help you guys, okay? And then the other important thing is after you do these different activities at home, we're going to ask that you take a picture or a video of whatever it is you created, and you're going to actually be able to upload it to Class Dojo so you can share with us, your teachers, about how it went. Because part of what we are wanting to find out is if you guys like this, if it's fun for you, if it's fun to do at home, right? Or if it was kind of boring, or if it was too hard, or anything like that. And so if you guys take pictures of the things that you create, it helps us, or videos, it helps us learn if it's fun for you. Because it's part of a research project. Miss Harrison and Miss Mara and I are doing a research project, which is kind of like a science experiment. How many of you guys like science? Anyone like science? Yeah, I see some hands. A lot of people like science, okay? So part of what we're hoping to learn from this class in our science experiment is if teaching this kind of class over the computer online is even really fun for you guys, or if you like actually going to help us understand how this class goes, if it's fun for you guys. So we sent your parent or guardian or whoever signed you up to them before our Thursday class. You'll be able to take pictures of them and send them into Class Dojo, okay? Does that make sense? If it makes sense, can I see thumbs up? If not, thumbs down. That'll help me know. Yeah? See some thumbs up? Okay. Awesome. So let's see. I think now we are finally ready to go on to more fun part, which is a our lesson. So you guys can chat into the chat or raise a hand and share. What is this? What is this fruit?
Watermelon.
Exactly, it's a watermelon. Great job, guys. All right, so next question, and you can chat this into the chat box as well. What are some words? Yeah, watermelon, right? What are some words that you guys can think of to describe watermelons? Ooh, delicious, ripe. What are some other good words?
Red.
Red, yes, awesome. The color, watery.
Ripe.
Yeah, good. Tasty, summery. Very good. Lots of awesome describing words, guys. Big, red, hearty, green. Awesome. Great words. So watermelons are actually 92% water. I don't know if you guys knew that. They are 92% water, so they are mostly a big, giant, watery plant. Yep, very good. Or watery fruit, I mean. All right, let's do another one. This one might be a... What is this? Has anyone ever seen this before? It is a type of melon. Good job, a cantaloupe. Describe it. Anyone ever even had it before? Who's had a cantaloupe? So what are words you guys can think to describe a cantaloupe? And if you haven't had it before, maybe describe what it looks like to you. An alien egg. There we go. You're describing what it looks like. Very good. Got some sense of humor. Seedy, orange. What about for friends who have Did it juicy? Good. Lots of seeds. You don't like it? It's sweet? Yeah, it's very sweet. When they're ripe, they're sweetish, right? Very like we're unfamiliar. Ooh, someone said a kiwi. Not quite. It's a little bigger. It's a type of melon. A green cantaloupe. Almost. You guys are really close. This fruit is actually completely ripe, even when it looks like this. That helps. Someone said it. I saw it. It's a honeydew. Good job, guys. Has anyone ever had honeydew before? One and four. Okay, a bunch of us actually have. That's awesome. I hadn't even had a honeydew until a few years ago. It was kind of a new fruit for me. So it's called honeydew. I'm going to type it, or actually, wait, there you go. Honeydew melon. So anyone who's ever had one before, what are some words you can think to describe it? And if you've never had it before, maybe describe what it looks like. You could describe what it looks like or what you think what it might remind you of. You guys can type those in. Honeyish, yeah, it's real sweet like honey. Very good. Green, it's definitely green. It's a lot like a cantaloupe. You guys are really good with these describing words. Do you guys all like to read and write? I can tell. You guys are really good with your language. This is awesome. It's round, it's seedy, different kind of alien egg. Yes, very true. Awesome. It's tasty. I think so too. All right, so I have another question for you guys. Where do you think, or how do you think some of these fruits got their names? So watermelon, cantaloupe, honeydew melon. How do you think they got their name? The tree names, maybe. Okay. What else? How else do we think they got their names? Watermelon, honeydew melon.
They taste like honey.
Yes, awesome. That is a great response. Honeydew melon is real sweet and kind of syrupy like honey. Watermelons are actually 92% water. That means almost the entire watermelon, except for that rind, is made of water. That's how they got their name. Super great. That's kind of fun, right? All right, I have another question for you guys. Does anyone know how these melons grow or what season they grow in New Jersey? Guys have any idea how they grow or when they grow? Oh, right now. What season are we in, guys? What season? Summer, exactly. Yes, someone just said they grow like pumpkins. If you guys have ever seen a pumpkin, they are in the same plant family. They grow very similarly to pumpkins. And they grow from, I think someone back there said, water and sunlight. Exactly. Kind of can see the little picture of a girl watering her plant here. All right, so we're gonna play like a little game where I'm gonna show you guys the first step, and you're gonna tell me the next step in how the plants grow. Okay? So here's the first step. What are these? What do you think these are? They're seeds. And does anyone want to take a guess? They're a type of seed from one of those 3 melons I showed you. Which one do you think they might be? Oh, yes, they are. They're watermelon seeds because they look like the little black watermelon seeds in a watermelon, right? And so we water those seeds, we give them sunlight, and what is it going to turn into? What comes after a little tiny seed? You guys can chat, you can unmute yourself and share. Ooh, before a flower, oh, I saw someone just said it. We get a stem and into a sprout. Exactly. So you get the stem that then grows into that little sprout. Very good. And there's one other word for a sprout that you might sometimes hear, and that's a seedling. Has anyone ever heard the word seedling before? Maybe. Yeah, I see a couple hands go up. Yeah, seedling or sprout is the word for this tiny little baby plant. And this right here is a watermelon seedling. So it's very small. It has that beautiful little curved leaf. Okay, so we keep watering this baby seedling. We keep getting it sunlight. We love it. We tell it it's beautiful. And what does it grow into? I'm seeing someone do this with their arms. What does it grow into? You can type it in or you can, oh, one step before the watermelon.
What?
Ooh, actually, even before the flower, it starts to grow into this big plant with all these vines. So watermelons and cantaloupe and honeydew and pumpkins, because someone said it earlier, they have these big, huge vines and these leaves that are like the size of your head. It's a giant plant. One plant could be like 5 or 10 feet long with all those huge leaves on it. But then more water, more sunlight, and then what happens? And I saw a bunch of people chatting it into the chat. Yeah, exactly. The flower, right? And a lot of times the flowers on these melons are either yellow or they're white. And what happens after there's a flower, but before our final fruit, there's something that comes in between that's so important. And I can give you guys a. Oh, what did you say? All right, I'm going to give you guys a little hint. There's another living being that helps us, and it sounds like this. Bzzz, bzzz, bzzz. The bees, exactly. So what happens? Yes, the bees, exactly. So what's going to happen is little bees are going to come and they're going to travel inside of one flower looking for nectar, and they get pollen all over their bodies. And then they visit another flower and they leave that flower, that pollen in the next flower. And when that pollen gets all mixed together because of the bees, that's called pollination. And what it creates is fruit. That's how we get all of the fruits and almost all the fruits and vegetables that we eat is through pollination and the bees. So what I try to do is when I'm eating like a big, delicious, juicy watermelon, is in my head I go, thank you, bees, thank you. Because without those bees, we would never have watermelon. Isn't that kind of cool? If you think that's cool, raise a hand. Anyone think that's cool? I think it's so cool. I love how plants grow. All right, so now that we kind of understand how plants are growing, let's see, how are we doing on time? I think we have enough time to talk about one other concept before we're going to kind of wrap things up, okay? So, has anyone ever heard of something called seed to plate? Anyone ever heard that before? Seeing some head shaking, no, that's okay. Okay, what about the phrase, maybe, have you ever heard farm to table? Anyone ever heard that one before? No? Okay. Oh, I see a couple yeses. Yes, oh my gosh, someone just got it. When you grow something and make food out of it, right? The definition is kind of in the words, right? So farm to table or seed to plate is how we get our food, right? It's how a tiny little seed turns into the food that we end up eating. So I'm going to picture. You guys see that okay? It's kind of like a big diagram. You guys see that on your screens? So what this is it's a big circle, it's a big cycle, and it has all of the steps that are involved in taking a little tiny seed and turning it into food that we eat, okay? So we usually start right here with growing. Does anyone want to volunteer to unmute themselves and read what this says right here under growing? Do I have any brave readers? If not,
I do.
Ooh, who was that? Was that 12? No, who was that?
It was 17, 17, and 18.
Okay, well, one of you guys read right here, growing, for me.
Farmers prepare soil, plants, and tend crops on small farms growing on variety of crops.
A variety of crops, very good, right? So that growing stage, that's the very first thing. They plant the seeds, they take care of the plants, and they grow them into big plants. Oh, do I see another hand? Does someone want to read harvesting? I think I saw 12. 12, do you want to read harvesting for me? Okay, do you want to unmute yourself, or Miss Harrison, can you unmute? There we go.
I got it.
Awesome. Go for it.
Farm workers often gather ripened crops by hand from the field.
Very good. Ripened crops by hand from the field. Awesome, right? Okay, so the plants have grown into those big, beautiful melons, and then farm workers go and they pick them, they harvest them in their wheelbarrows, in their trucks, in their tractors, whatever they harvest them in. Awesome. Do we have someone else who might want to read this next one? Any other volunteers? And Miss Harrison, if you see someone with a raised hand, please call on them. Oh, I see 17 and 18 again. Why don't we have you guys go, and then we'll have 9 and 10 do the next one, okay?
Packaging. Farm workers put foods in reusable boxes or bags for transport.
Awesome, very good. Okay, so we have all those honeydew melons and those watermelons, and now we put them into some boxes, hopefully some reusable cardboard boxes to get them all ready. All right, and then 9 or 10, who wants to read this next one? Go for it. It's all you.
Farmers move the food by truck or van to a farmer's market, restaurant, or local store.
Very good. Or maybe a supermarket or something like that. Very good. Okay, so we have all that food in those boxes. We put it on a big truck and we drive it to whatever store or restaurant is going to be selling it, right? All right, next one. Anyone want to read retailing? Let's see. Oh, 12. You got it. I see you. Go for it.
Farmers, restaurant owners, or local store owners sell food to customers.
Perfect. And who are those customers? Us, right? We're the customers. All right, who wants to read this next one? This is my favorite part, this next one. All right, 9 and 10. You guys, I see you. Go for it.
People buy, prepare, and eat the food.
That is the fun part, right? That's where we cook it, we make it tasty, and we eat it, right? All right, last one. Anyone want to read disposing? Do we have any volunteers who haven't gone yet? 29, 40, 34, 28? Anyone over there? No? That's okay if you don't want to. I think I see, 9 and 10. You guys, I see that hand.
Communities collect kitchen scraps for composting to add to farm soil. Minimal packaging means less in the landfill.
Awesome. So we have a bunch of kind of big words in there. So basically, one thing that can happen after we eat is if there's anything left over, we can do something called composting, which we are going to learn all about in one of our lessons coming up. We won't learn about it too much today, but it's one way that we can make new soil, right? And then sometimes if we can't compost, we end up throwing away anything that's left over. So there are so many steps involved in getting a tiny little seed into food that we eat. And here's the interesting part. There are people involved at every single one of these steps, right? So can someone chat or share, unmute themselves, and say the names of different kinds of people that are involved? Not like their names, like my name is Miss Daniel, but maybe their titles. Like my title is teacher, right? What are the titles of some of the people involved in some of these steps? You guys think of any?
I see 9 and 10. You want to speak?
Yeah.
Farmers?
Farmers, that's a good one. What else? Is that what you guys were going to say, 9 and 10? You're going to say farmers? Yeah. All right. So we have farmers, but what are the names of the people who actually drive the big vans of stuff to the store? They have job names too, right? What might they be called? Any idea? Oh, yeah, go ahead. 9 and 10. I see your hand. Go for it.
Maybe transporter?
Transporter or maybe driver, right? Sometimes that's a really fancy name for them, the transporters. I want to be called a transporter, but maybe they'd be called a driver. Yeah, that's one. Very good. What else? What are some other people? What about when you're at the grocery store? What are the names of the people at the grocery store that work there with the food? Oh, I think I see a hand. 12. What do you think?
Harvesters?
Ooh, a harvester. Yeah, a person who picks all the food from the field could be called a harvester. Very good. Okay, so we have harvesters and farmers that grow and pick the food. We have transporters or drivers who bring it to the grocery store. What about if they bring the food to a restaurant? What's the name of the person who chops and cooks everything in a restaurant? Go ahead. I see some hands. You guys can both say it. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Look at that. You said it in perfect harmony. A chef, right? The chef is the person who cooks. Beautiful. And then we get to do all the eating, and that's the fun part. Okay, guys. So the point of that was for us to remember that there are people who are involved in every single one of these steps. And so sometimes when we eat food, it's nice to be thankful of all the people who are eating or whose work went into us being able to eat that yummy food. All right, guys. So just so that we don't run too far over time, I'm going to go ahead and move us along, okay? But we're going to be able to learn about some of this stuff again in future lessons, okay? So I'm going to really quickly explain the activity that you guys can do after we're done here, sometime hopefully before Thursday if you have time. And it's kind of a really fun hands-on project you can do at home by yourself or with a parent or a guardian or a sibling, anyone who you want to share this fun with, okay? So we're going to be planting seeds. Hopefully, if you have them, some watermelon or some cantaloupe or maybe pumpkin seeds, something like one of the fruits or vegetables that we talked about today, how they grow, okay? So the way this is going to work, log on to Class Dojo, and you're going to find a video of me explaining step-by-step instructions. Plant a seed in, instead of a normal pot, you have the opportunity to create your own pot out of a recyclable material onto Class Dojo, okay? Does that kind of make sense? If it makes sense, can I see some thumbs up? And if it doesn't make sense, can I see some thumbs down? I just want to make sure we feel okay about this. All right, I see lots of thumbs up. Awesome. All right, so the last thing we're going to do real quick is an exit ticket. Have you guys ever heard of those from class, from school? Did any of your teachers ever do exit tickets? So I'm seeing some heads yes, some heads no. Okay, so I'll go through what it is. An exit ticket is a super quick activity, takes less than 5 minutes, and it's just a fun way for us to remember kind of what we learned, okay? And so you guys are going to be able to tell Miss Harrison and I if you like this kind of thing or not, because if you don't like it, we won't do too many of them in the future. If you do like it, we'll do more, okay? So take a second real quick and get out a piece of paper and something to write or draw with. So we're going to give you guys the opportunity to draw or write or be kind of artistic and express yourselves, okay? So go grab a piece of paper. We'll wait for you guys until you come back, okay? And if you already have paper, just hold on like 1 minute for our other friends to join us, okay?
I love growing in my garden.
Yeah? Ooh, I just heard someone say they love growing in their garden. That makes me very happy. I also love to grow things in the garden. All right, I think I see Ms. Harrison. Does it look like we have most of our friends back? Yeah?
Yep.
Okay, awesome. All right, guys, so what we're gonna do is take 3 minutes or less, you don't have to take the full 3 minutes, and draw or write something that explains anything that you learned today, okay? Be as creative as you want. You can do it in one color, you can color it in, but you're gonna draw or write something that explains something you learned today, and when you're finished, you're gonna just hold it up to the screen so that Ms. Harrison and I can see, and we'll let a couple of friends, if they want to, explain to us a little bit more about what they created, okay? So I'll set my timer for 3 minutes, okay? Ditto, Miss Harrison. I can't wait to see what people come up with. When we had our morning class, we saw some seriously creative artwork, and people said they had a lot of fun drawing or writing poems or whatever they came up with, so I'm very excited too.
Everyone looks hard at work.
I know, I see that. You guys have about 2 more minutes, okay? And if you finish early, feel free to hold it up sooner, but we'll give you guys definitely your full time if you want. And I know the instructions say that after you're done, you're dismissed, but I actually just want to ask you guys one more question before we leave. So don't log off quite yet, okay? So just stay on for one more second, even after you're done with your drawing or your whatever you wrote, whatever you created.
Wow. Looks like 29 has a nice diagram going there.
Oh, I want to see. Oh my gosh.
That's beautiful.
Wow. What creative artwork. Okay, I thought you guys might like this. Gives you guys a chance to be creative. That's amazing. 29, do you want to unmute yourself and share? Or do you want to type in the chat box a little more about your drawing? We'd love to hear. Oh, wow. Look at that, 9 and 10. That was amazing. Can I see one more time? I could see it for just a second. I want to bring it just a little closer. Oh my gosh, look at that.
Wow.
Wow,
And
you guys
12?
are beautiful artists. Okay, so 29 says, my drawing is the cycle of a melon, becoming a melon from seed to plant to food. Amazing. All right, guys, I don't know if you heard that, but that is our timer. So go ahead and put the last finishing touches on whatever you're drawing and hold it up. We want to see. I see a lot of cycles too. That's awesome. So it seems like you guys enjoyed learning about the plant cycle of those watermelons, right? Super cool. All right, guys, that is fantastic. So do people like getting time to do kind of like a drawing and be creative? If you like that, can I see thumbs up? If you didn't like that, can I see thumbs down? You see what people have to
See some thumbs up? I see one thumbs down. What would you prefer? What do you like better than maybe like drawing, or you can type it in the box, or you can unmute yourself and tell us, because we'll do whatever you like to do.
Yeah, if there's something you prefer, if you'd rather like an active game, oh, you like eating food. Okay, well, we're going to do plenty of that in later lessons, okay? There's always going to be some lessons where we talk about how plants grow or talk about something like that. And then there's going to be lots of lessons where we talk about food and eating food, and it's going to be good times. Ooh, someone said, I learned that pumpkins and watermelons are in the same family. And someone says, eating, I like that. Yes, I also love to eat. That makes me very happy. All right, guys, so I have one final question for you before we're done for the afternoon. And that is, for those of you who know about using Class Dojo, do you use that QR code, that like thing that you scan with your phone? Or do you prefer to be given like that 6-digit code that you enter into the computer? Or do you not have a preference, or do you not know what I'm talking about?
Digit code.
Okay, you prefer the 6-digit code, 12? You prefer the code? Okay, that digit code. Okay, no clue. That's totally fine. So your options are, yep, what 29 is holding up. That like scan thing, we can do that, or I can give you a 6-digit code. And I just want to know which one, those of you who know about Class Dojo, let me know which one you prefer. Some people say they don't care. Okay, if it's okay with everyone, I think we're going to do the 6-digit code, because I had some friends in the previous class and the morning class say that they prefer the 6-digit code. So if everyone is okay with that, we will have Miss Mara send that out to all of our families so you guys have the code that you need to get into Class Dojo. Is that okay with everyone? If that sounds, can I have thumbs up? Okay, so what you guys are going to do now that we're done with this lesson, is you guys are going to go on, we're going to give you that code. You're going to go on to Class Dojo so you can find the video showing you how to plant your seeds and how to do it in a fun water bottle if you want to. And then you guys are going to take a picture or video of it and upload it for Miss Harrison and I to see. Does that sound okay, everyone? All right, thank you guys so much for such a great first class and for all of the great stuff you shared. And with that, we'll see you guys again on Thursday, and we're going to do a whole bunch more fun stuff, okay? So if you guys don't have any other questions, you are more than welcome to log off. If you do have questions, feel free to stay and you can chat or, unmute yourself if you have anything else you want to ask. But it was so nice to meet you all. We'll see you on Thursday.